Should be. All right, cool. So starting with our Zoom meeting, um, as we all know, first off is learning how Zoom works. What I did was I recorded the meeting and set it up to live stream to YouTube. So now you see it from a YouTube point of view. And the reason for doing that is that it's accessible for a broader audience and say for business purposes or business setting. This would be pretty hands-on or pretty beneficial for a company that may need like tutorial or even with training. And it's an easy way to find accessibility and credibility for a company in general. Next up uh, is it. Next, I'll go over the company's abilities. I'm going to pass it off to Ava, Layout, and Abana, who will go over different attributes or different features of the meeting, Zoom meeting. So first off, pass it up to Layout, who would I'll make co-host now. I just shut my screen over. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I'll pass it off to Layout. She's going to go over different attributes as co-host, and then, but prior before that, I'll go over the what was it? The my AI companion and also the cloud and local storage. So first off, the AI companion for my last audio assignment. It pretty much summed up every feature that I explained during the video regarding to how Zoom meetings work in general and features of it. Key takeaways talked about Zoom meetings and why it's important for it to why how it can be important to live stream from Zoom to YouTube. And it's just I connected to with ideas on how they would be beneficial in a business setup. And I would say AI was pretty accurate with creating these bullet points and pretty much summarizing the entire event for me. And then after that, for the AI, for the local and the cloud storage, um, so for cloud storage, pretty is broadly accessible, similar to YouTube, but it'll be on Zoom's cloud. So that's beneficial due to its cloud storage, where anyone pretty much could have it accessible, where it's not solely stored on your laptop. For instance, if you're in a business setting, the company has locations all across the states or nation in general, you'll be able to share it across the storage where other employees or, you know, any other work partners can also access that information. And say it can maybe be useful for training or any tutorial in general. After that, I'll pass it up to Danielle. We'll share go over the next steps and features of the meeting.
I'm going to be going over the breakout rooms and the spotlighting. So I'm just going to share my screen really quickly first. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yeah, we can say it.
So really quickly, just to go over my AI companion bullet points from the last auditing project. It basically summed up everything that I had said in each of the recording, like conceptually, I would say, like main key takeaways. The only thing that I was lacking is because it is a summary, like it's not very detailed. So this could be helpful if somebody missed out on like a really lengthy meeting and wanted to get the gist of it. But if there were like important key points that they wanted to get, they would probably have to watch the entire meeting. Or they could read the transcript. And then I'll quickly show you guys how to do a breakout room. So now that I'm a co-host, I have the option at the bottom of my screen. I just hit breakout rooms and I already created these, but I'll quickly delete them just so I can show you guys how I did that. Um, so if I hit recreate, I can hit assign automatically. So it automatically creates the breakout rooms for me. Or I hit assign manually, and then this is when I can assign people to each room. I can add another room, assign, choose who I want. And then the last option is to let participants choose the room. So if I hit open all rooms, it would give the other members of the meeting the option to join their rooms. And then when I decide that I want it to be over, I can hit close all rooms and it'll give them a countdown. I can also make them automatically close after however long I want. So have it here for 1 minute. You can edit that. Um, and then there's the timer for how soon after I close it, it kicks people out. Okay. Then the other thing we're going to focus on is spotlighting. I guess quickly before I do that, I'll just explain why breakout rooms are important. They can be useful for like classroom settings, for group projects like this one, for example. We used it to get together with our groups in the class, um, or in just like really large meetings in general when you want people to break down and discuss ideas individually and then come back to the larger group. And then you can obviously having the option to assign the groups or randomize them or let people choose. It lets you play around with that, depending on what like the ideal situation is. And then for spotlighting, let's say I just like hit these three buttons over here and I want to spotlight Josh. I hit replace spotlight because I had Ava spotlighted previously. So that'll just spotlight his screen. And this can be beneficial if, again, if you're in a meeting and you want somebody to present, you have a lot of people in the room and um, you're not necessarily wanting them to be a host of the meeting, but rather you just want their screen to be displayed for a certain period of time. And then that way you have the choice to obviously take that away from them and remove the spotlight if necessary. Up in this left corner, remove spotlight. Okay, so that is the extent of what I'm showing you guys. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so Ava can show hers.
By
Stop
the
sharing.
way, could you make me host again? I accidentally made you the host.
Oh, yeah, I did notice that. How do I do that?
You just click the three dots above my.
I see. And
Yeah.
then make host. Okay, got you.
Okay, so now I'm gonna share my screen and I'll show you. Wait, do it like that. And then my AI companion, can you see that? Um, I think mine was like a little bit messed up because it didn't like give me bullet points, so I just included the summary. But for the most part, I think it was like pretty accurate. Um, I think that, I mean, obviously, like if you it's not going to give you everything, so like you can read the transcript if you didn't want to like rewatch the recording, but that's for the most part for that. Okay, and then I'm going to show you the chat function, so I'll share this part. Okay, so well, here's a few. Okay, so we can do private messaging. So this would be helpful, like if you're just trying to talk to like the host or like someone in specific, if you don't want to like put it through the whole meeting. And then you can change it to everyone in the meeting. So then everyone will get get the chat. And this is really useful because it can also like help enhance engagement if like you might be like kind of shy to talk on the Zoom or if you don't want to interrupt. So yeah, and then I'll unshare so then Josh can share his screen. Oh.
Okay, okay, so I'm gonna share my screen now. Um, Overall, I found that my AI companion summary was pretty accurate. It captured the main points I talked about and didn't leave much out. Now I'm going to show you how to enable transcripts. So, wait, can you still see my screen?
I don't.
Okay, wait, sorry. Now you do, right? Okay, so I'm gonna enable transcripts now. Live transcripts can be helpful because it makes meetings more accessible to people who are hard of hearing or in noisy places. This can allow them to make it easier for them to follow along. It also provides written note taking. So later on, if you want to go back into the meeting instead of listening to it, you can follow along to the transcript. It like acts as like a history. And also you can double check information. Now I'm going to allow Layla to control my screen. So I'm going to enable that for her. This can also be useful because it makes collaboration easier. It's also like a tech support tool. Um, And also like if I'm having trouble with like actions on my computer or I can't seem to get something to like work, I can have another member of my team help me figure it out. All right, I'm gonna stop now.
Do you want to quickly do that one more time just so I can show like a quick control of your screen?
Yeah. Let me share again. Sorry. Remote control.
Okay, so I guess just to show the function of that, I'm looking at his screen. And do you want to like wave your cursor so like it gives the, yeah, there you go, because I can't like actually do that. I can hit the chat option here and then I can type a chat on my keyboard and it shows up on behalf of Josh in the chat. I think that's it. You can end now.
All right.
All right, last but not least, I want to go through how to go through polls real quick because I forgot to mention that. So I'm going to share my screen. And then since although co-hosts do have different features and powers to them, they can't control polls quizzes. So I have to do it from my end as a host. So what you'll do, you'll either find it at the bottom screen on this bottom tab at the bottom, where it says poll the quizzes, or you'll find it in the more options right there. But it's at the bottom of my screen. I'll click poll, and then I already went through an example earlier, but you'll click the plus right here. And then give you a question or a poll, different choices to go through. And then you have different options to make it required to show, drop down, or create breakout rooms for the polls. So if I click save, it creates the poll question for me. It hasn't been published yet. And I save it to the library or save it to the meeting. Poll for this instance, I'll save it to the meeting. And then after it should load up. And then once it gets to this screen, it will show launch and view results as a pass poll or be launched. I'll click launch here. They have the option of putting in their choices. Also, you can also send a QR code for the poll as well. But for instance, this is live as well. So you can see someone chose one versus one up 100%. Now, also for the polls, the reason for polls, these can be used during, I guess, maybe just for engagement to make sure everyone's up to date. So if we had a choice or an idea we want to share that we don't know what action to take upon, we'll ask, I guess, the participant in the meeting if they prefer either choice. So that's a good way to stay engaged and make sure everyone's up to date with ideas, sharing ideas, and then seeing how, I guess, any process may want to go, depending on the choices for the goal. So I'll click enter poll for my end, and then just show the results, stop sharing, and then that's it. There we go.
All right, I think that we covered everything. Is there anything that we didn't? Okay, I think we're good. Should be all of it.
We're also still recording. I don't know if it's
Yeah, I got you. I'll stop it.